There he is, the Chicago Bear fan, the Iowa Hawkeye, class of '96, right here. Go Hawks! And of course, that's right, baby. Your tight end for your San Francisco 49ers, George Kittle. You're doing some important stuff here. We're going to talk about AstroTurf and grass coming up here, but your coaching staff's getting raided here. What are the Dolphins getting in Mike McDaniel? You're missing your tight ends coach John Embry too. They're coming after the 49ers.
Yeah, which I think is a great idea. I think we've had pretty good amounts of success the last couple of years. 2020 was tough. We had 45 guys in IR, but I still think we put out good football on tape, and we have great coaches. And I think it just has a lot to say about Coach Shanahan and the guys he surrounds himself with. And that's why we lost LaFleur last year, lost Saleh, and then this year we lose McDaniels and John Embry. And who McDaniels and Embry have been vital to my development as an NFL football player. I know Embo is one of my favorite coaches I ever played for, and I'll have a relationship with him the rest of my life. And Mike McDaniels is a guy who made all of our run game stuff come to life, and he gave us an opportunity to run the ball at a high level. And Miami's getting a great tandem right there. They're going to probably bring other coaches and stuff, but they should be very happy with what they got. And McDaniels is going to come in there, and I think it's going to be a huge breath of fresh air for that organization. And he's going to definitely set a standard that they're going to want to play at.
I don't know who gets credit for what, and I'm assuming you love the way that you've been used, but I think Deebo really popped for a bunch of people this year. Like, this guy, you can get him the ball literally anywhere, and he is just a dynamic threat. How much credit do those guys get for the way Deebo just continues to evolve his game?
They get a lot, but at the same time, Deebo's the guy. He's the engine pulling the train. They call the plays, but he's the one that sees the hole, hits it really hard, and then breaks tackles and falls forward for 8 to 12 yards. And that's a credit to Deebo. There's not a lot of guys that run like him, just full force downhill, and he's not a guy that a lot of guys want to hit unless you're like a defensive lineman, and not even all those guys want to hit him. But like our concepts and stuff that we developed over the course of the season when Deebo started getting in the backfield was awesome. It was really fun to play with. It was very different because he runs the ball very differently than any other running back I've had to block for. But it's a little bit more unorthodox. Like, it will be like, hey, read the gap, like front side, and he'll just take the ball and run straight to the left and score touchdowns. You're just like, you know what? Hey, do you, dog? Like, I'm gonna slow somebody down. You make one guy miss, and it'll probably be a touchdown. When you have a guy that can score a touchdown on any look and any play, pretty threatening offense.
Maybe this is too simplistic, but in the Packers game, I thought the difference was, look, Devontae, you guys are covering him, and Aaron's going to him a ton, and you guys are creatively using Deebo. Biggest play of the game gets you in field goal position. I thought like that dynamic was at least one of the biggest reasons why you guys were able to pull out a huge win, obviously, on the road.
Oh, yeah. The last play of the Packers game was 3rd and 7. We run the football on, and I'm telling you, when we call that one play, like, my confidence skyrocketed instantly because it's one of my favorite plays that we run in the run game, especially when Deebo's running it. As long as I know if I can get down on a backer and our pulling guard can kick out the end, he's going to get at least 6 to 7 yards. And I knew we were going to get a field goal, and he fell forward for 8, and the rest says it all.
What's up with your love of blocking, George Kittle?
What's up with it?
Yeah. A lot of guys in your position, they love to catch the football. You love that too, it seems, obviously, but putting your hat on someone that almost, does that excite you more? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's really fun. Moving a man from point A to point B against his will is the greatest feeling you ever feel, baby. No, why do I love the run game? Why I love the run game so much? Well, other than the fact that it was ingrained in me by both my dad and then the University of Iowa, run game is mostly effort. And like, while there's, for a guy like me, who's not even 6'4", and I weigh 245 pounds and I can block 290-pound guys, that's effort and technique. That's not just, hey, I'm 6'7", 270 pounds, I'm just going to muscle you out of the way. It gets an effort thing. And I learned at an early age that the eye in the sky, the camera, the tape doesn't lie. And guys watch every single rep that you take. And if you're going to be amazing in the pass game and then you lack effort in the run game, I don't think that's not what a tight end's supposed to do, everything. And like, yes, there's offenses where guys don't have to do stuff, and that's their offense. But in my offense, where I'm the tip of the spear in the front side of the outside zone, I'm going to try to put great stuff on tape every single rep that I can get. And so you got to embrace it. If you don't love the run game, it's going to chew you up and spit you back out.
You weren't always like that, right? Middle of your Iowa career, somebody jumped you and said, dude, you are not doing everything you can to be a great football player and things changed?
A little bit. I was definitely, I'll tell you this. I was very soft in high school. I played free safety and wide receiver, and I did not hit, and I did hardly tackled. I sat back in a cover one, and I just got interceptions. That's what I did on defense. And it was definitely a mindset you had to develop at Iowa. And like, I was like my first day of summer camp, my freshman year there, a guy was like, hey, if you don't learn how to run block, you'll never play here. Because it's Big Ten, like you don't have a shot to play here. And just hearing that, I was like, okay. And then I figured it out because I was very athletic and I could like swing my hips around. I could pin people and stuff like that. But when I started getting like my rhythm going, yeah, it was Pat Anger helped me out, the old linebacker for the Colts. And he was like, hey, I just asked him a couple of questions, and he had a similar career to me where he didn't play a lot until his senior year. And I kind of did the same thing he did, just focus a little bit more on football, less partying and enjoying myself off the field. And things kind of clicked for me. And now I am where I am.
That's a beautiful thing. Congratulations. And we're going to talk about artificial turf in Pennington in a second here. But first of all, best athlete in the Kittle family. I mean, you mentioned your dad, and of course, Bruce played at Iowa, but your mom's an athlete. You got cousins like Jess Settles, who was a stud at Iowa. I mean, all over the place. Your sister, the whole thing. Who's the best athlete in the Kittle family?
My mom. She's actually in the Iowa High School Basketball Hall of Fame and Softball Hall of Fame. I think her batting average in high school, I think, was like 500.
Wow.
Yeah, she was a monster, and so she's gonna love this. But it was funny. Kirk Ferentz at Iowa always joked. He was like, I know you got your athletics from your mom because your dad was a terrible athlete. Because my dad just played left tackle. So my dad is a good athlete, but my mom was pretty elite her entire life.
Is your dad still sending you a letter every week?
He does, weekly. Well, in season. Now it's just I get emails in the off season.
Yeah, well, he gets kind of that motivation moment, right? He sums up last week's game and then looks ahead to this week, and it gets you that the mindset for whatever week is coming up. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. A lot of the time he'll like tell a story too, and he's a fantastic writer, and so he'll tell a story, and he'll pull things from like a movie that I grew up watching Lord of the Rings and reading those books, so he'll pull like a storyline from Lord of the Rings, and it can like go throughout the entire season. He's pretty good at that type of stuff. It's it's reading like a five-page like little note every single week, and it's like different whether it's football or storylines. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Is Trey ready to do this? What have you seen?
Trey has all the intangibles and all the attributes. He has the opportunity to be a very, very good quarterback. So I'm excited about that. I think he can make any throw throughout the field, and when you have a guy that can run and leave the pocket, you have a chance for all those off schedule plays, and which is you can get such big chunk yardage out of that. And a guy that can run like that too. So he has all the attributes. I think the best thing he has, though, he's confident. He loves the game of football. I think he also knows that he has to get a lot better. I don't think he's anywhere near his ceiling. I don't think he's even close. So but he is a very good quarterback already. So excited to see how this offseason goes for him, what he looks like coming back. And I'm assuming that he'll probably be, hanging out with Shanahan the whole time, learning the offense. But I'm excited for it because he adds a lot of things that I've never played with before.
Some people are tying Aaron Rodgers with you guys. Any reaction to that?
Awesome. Well, I don't know. I got tagged. Someone told me Tom Brady's going to the Niners. I was like, whoa, sure. After the last 2 years, the quarterback stuff in the offseason has been wild. So I'm just going to be on Twitter and wait for a notification to come by that says something happens. And if it's not that, it is what it is.
Hey, you're going to catch the ball from whoever throws it to you. And I guess Jimmy is everyone's expected him for him to be elsewhere. What will you miss about? Yeah, you never know. What have you appreciated most about Jimmy?
Oh, wow. Honestly, the consistency, like being able to deal with all the stuff that he deals with every single year, and like how the media people they come at him. He's the quarterback for one of the most prominent franchises in the history of sports, who's had quarterbacks like Joe Montana and Steve Young. If you don't play like that week in and week out, I guess people are going to be mad about it. They have very high standards. I thought Jimmy played at a high level his entire time with the Niners so far. I think going to 2 NFC championship games in 3 years is, pretty good for you. People are like, oh, well, he didn't throw the ball in the playoffs the first time. Well, regardless of who's playing quarterback, if it was Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning, and you're running the ball for 12 yards a carry. You're going to run the ball 40 times. Like, why would you even throw the ball? It doesn't matter. But I think his consistency is what the best thing is. Like all these off the field things that he can't even control, and he's the same guy every single day. It just kind of set the tone for the entire team that, hey, like if our quarterback can deal with this stuff and he's fine, we can be fine no matter what we deal with. And that was kind of held us together.
Got that thick skin. You got to appreciate it. All right. Flip the turf. Too many NFL teams not playing on grass, man. Come on, take care of your players, take care of society. This is not hard. Pennington wants to give some free grass here. It's a cool initiative that you're a part of.
Yes, it is. Pennington wants to give out free grass to the last 16 teams that are playing on artificial turf, because at the end of the day, it makes sense to play on grass and it makes sense to play on the same surface for everybody. All we're trying to do is we're trying to get fans, coaches, players, everybody to get behind it. We have a little, we're going to get on this petition. It's on change.org called Flip the Turf. And we just want to get grass everywhere. Because let me ask you this, like an NBA guy, he plays on the same court every day, every time he touches a basketball. You don't ask him to go outside and play on cement. Outside. NHL, they play on the same ice every single time, the same standards, same regulations. When they go play a game, they're like, hey, today we're actually playing on artificial ice. You guys are on rollerblades. Like no one else has to change up their, hey, we have to change up our cleats because we're playing on a different surface. There's not another sport that does that. Really, besides like soccer does grass everywhere. And so
yeah. I would make the argument like baseball does it, but they're not getting hit like you.
Yeah, no, they're not getting hit. They're not running full speed every single play. Like they're not. They're running in a straight line. They're not zigzagging hardly, and that's the difference. And I'm just trying to get where, hey, I practice on a grass field, and then I get on a plane and I go have to play on a turf field, and then the next week I go back and I practice on grass and I go to a different turf field. There's just so many variables when it comes to fields. Why not make everybody grass and make everybody the same? If they can grow grass in Green Bay and Las Vegas, then they can grow grass anywhere. And so that's my thing. Let's get everybody on grass that's about the same. And then guys will be playing on the same surface week in and week out, less injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too tall for me to get everybody on board with let's make the world a better place. It's let's save the planet. But I do think you could talk to NFL guys. Hey, these are guys you're investing millions of dollars in. Don't you want them to be healthy? That's good for your bottom line. And by the way, you also help the world too. So
yeah, you help the world. Like, hey, do you want all your superstar athletes in the NFL to play every single week and then not be as sore after playing on a cement turf field? Hey, let's play on grass where you don't have huge burns up and down your arms for getting tackled.
Yeah.
Let's not play on plastic. Let's play on natural grass.
Long-term, invest in making investments is key. This shouldn't be that hard. I love that you're out here talking about this, George. So great to see you. You never have a bad day, and you didn't have. And we were seeing it again today. Your attitude is contagious, man. Congrats on all your success, and hope to catch up down the line here, George.
Hey, appreciate it. That was a blast. Thank you.